Hello everybody, it's Kathryn from Jayne Catherine on Books, and I'm really excited because today I've got a book haul. Yay! So if you've been with me a while, you know that last year I really concentrated on reading books from my shelves, the TBR from my shelves, and it was getting me down a bit really. I was carrying it on this year, but there's nothing like that thrill of sending some new books. I'm not gone my normal mad self, I have to say, but there's some exciting new books. We're leaving them out on the coffee table, and David and I are just mulling through them and picking them and reading them as we fancy. So yeah, finding that exciting. So without further ado, let's have a look what I've chosen. So this, I got a few from the works. I can't remember where was from where. Where was from where? That doesn't sound English, does it? What books were from what place? Something along those lines. This was from the works, I know that. Cold Earth by Cleeves. Now, I haven't got the last few books in the Jimmy Perez series, and this was on offer, 3 for £5, 3 books for £5. So I got this one. Because the first few in the series are colours, the names of the books are colours, and then the last lot are elements. So this is how the series goes: Raven Black, White Nights, Red Bones, then we have Blue Lightning, Dead Water, Thin Air and Cold Earth. So this is the last one, but seeing as I needed it, I haven't got the last 3 actually, but this was the only one they've got at the moment at the works, and I thought, yeah, I need that to finish my series off, and pleased to get that. So that's Jimmy. I'll put them on the floor. Then next I got this one, The Midnight Palace by our friend Carlos Ruiz Zafon, who is of the Shadow of the Wind fame. Now, this was written before the Shadow of the Wind. He wrote quite a few books before he came really famous for his book, The Shadow of the Wind. And this is one of his YA pieces of work. It was actually translated from the Spanish, and I will tell you a name. Lucia Graves. I think it's Lucia. Lucia Graves, translated from the Spanish. And this is his second book that he wrote for young adults in the 1990s. It says, back when even I was probably more young than adult myself. Writing for the young or the young at heart is a risky business, and I learned that teenagers are a notoriously demanding and honest audience. My intention when crafting these books was to create stories that would appeal to them, also that they would hopefully be enjoyed by more mature and experienced fellow travellers, for whom they might rekindle memories of the first books they had read, those magical tales of mystery and adventure that every reader hoards in the treasure chest even of their brain. I hope you will enjoy this ride into the twilight world of Calcutta in the 1930s, where the shadows of the night are thicker than blood. Never mind the number of candles on your birthday cake. For those in the know, it's what lies beneath them that matters. Enjoy. Very excited for this. We've got Split Time Narratives, 1916 and 1932. Yeah, looking forward to that. Then next, I've got another young adult one, Silver Summer by Rachel Hickman. Now, I'm reading this at the moment, and I would say so far it feels as if it would be bottom end of YA. So 11-12-year-olds, I would think, unless there's something really outrageous happens. But After losing her mother, Sass is sent to live with her uncle in England. Far from her native New York, the rocky shores and crumbling castles of Cornwall seem like the perfect place to hide her grief when she stumbles across a silver horse in a sunlit meadow. And what a beautiful cover. I just like the sound of that. I thought that would be a cute book, and I am enjoying it so far. I've got to page 84. Next, never heard of this one, although it was the shortlisted for the 2020 International Booker Prize. And this is called The Enlightenment of the Greengage Tree by Shokoofeh. I hope that's right, Shokoofeh Azar. And I just like the blurb on this one. And by the way, look at these lovely bookmarks. I mean, we always get lovely bookmarks from Book Depository, but this is a bit in the style of a comic book. So what is this one about? It says, set in Iran in the decade following the 1979 Islamic Revolution, this moving, richly imagined novel is narrated by the ghost of Bahar, a 13-year-old girl whose family is compelled to flee their home in Tehran for a new life in a small village. While hoping to preserve both their intellectual freedom and their lives, they soon find themselves caught up in the post-revolutionary chaos that sweeps across the country. And I haven't really read many books around that area, so I thought this looked, and plus it's got a lovely cover. Lovely cover. So I'm looking forward to that one. Next, this is called Turtle Diary, and this is a Penguin modern classic, and again it just sort of caught my eye really, the blurb. Now it says that it's a Penguin fiction. It sounds a bit more like non-fiction to me, and I think it's a fictional piece based on something that I don't know if they actually succeeded in it or they tried to, was rescuing some turtles from the ocean. So it says, born to swim thousands of miles in the ocean, the giant sea turtles are now trapped in a tank of golden green water at London Zoo, but not for much longer. Two lonely people, a bookseller and a children's illustrator, have begun thinking turtle thoughts. As they come together to hatch a plan to release the turtles back into the sea, their diaries reveal how they find their own lives changing in imperceptible and quite unintended ways. So it's a bit of soul searching by the sound of it, but also, wanting to re-release caged animals, or I know they're sea creatures, but they're still in a zoo, to if they can get them back to their natural habitat. I'm not sure when this was. This was originally published in 1975, so I think we've come on a long way for reintroducing wild creatures back to their natural habitat. And I think I've actually been to the place on Jersey in the Channel Isles, Gerald Durrell's place, and that's a wonderful place. There's loads of things happening there to try and re-establish creatures back to their own habitat, and it's a wonderful place, and there's lots of projects like that going on all over. So I thought this would be nice. Then I thought it was time I had a new murder mystery. Oh yes, there's been a murder, this time in Exham-on-Sea. Exham-on-Sea no less, on the south coast I believe. Or is it, oh now, I don't know. Exham-on-Sea might even be Sussex, Suffolk. I think I'll have to look it up. And it's in Somerset now. To my fellow residents in Burnham-on-Sea in Somerset. So where the cider's made. So it is the south, nearer south, but it's nearer Devon, that sort of way. Those of you that are not familiar with the UK, it doesn't matter because I live in the UK and also I'm not familiar. Anyway, I thought this looked, I've heard of Frances Evesham, quite a prolific author actually, and I thought this would be a great new series to start. Oh, this is funny. About the author. Frances Evesham is the author of highly successful Exham-on-Sea murder mysteries in her home county of Somerset. But in her spare time, she collects poison recipes and other ways of dispatching her unfortunate victims. Not going to one of her dinner parties. No, definitely not. We're not going there, even if she invites us. So yeah, this is there's quite a few in this series so far. So this one, like, I can't decide whether it says volume 1, Murder at the Lighthouse and Murder on the Levels. I don't know whether this is actually 2 in 1 and it's both the first, both make up the first, or whether this is volume 1, volume 2. I wonder if there's a list somewhere that tells us the order. Murder at the Lighthouse, Murder on the Levels, yeah, book 1 and 2, and then Murder on the Tour. So, recently widowed Libby Forrest arrives in the small coastal town of Exham-on-Sea, keen to start a new life baking cakes and designing chocolates. Walking on the beach one stormy autumn day, Libby and excitable Springer Spaniel Shipley discover a body under the lighthouse. Oh! Convinced the death was no accident, Libby teams up with Max Ramshaw, an attractive local resident, and Bear, a huge sheepdog, to unmask the killer. So we've got Max Ramshaw, attractive local resident, eh? They're never horrible, are they? They've always got to be dashing, tall, dark and handsome and dashing. I'm looking forward to that. Looking quite ready for a new murder mystery series. And then I've got one to add to my Peter May collection. We've got this one, Lockdown, and this was written before the current pandemic. It's quite eerie, isn't it? I believe this is a standalone. And it said the crime thriller that predicted a world in quarantine. So it said London, the epicentre of a global pandemic, is a city in lockdown. Violence and civil disorder simmer. Martial law has been imposed. A deadly virus has already claimed thousands of victims. Health and emergency services are overwhelmed. And this is featuring D.I. Jack McNeil. He's counting down his last hours on his final day with the Met, but he's sent to investigate a murder. His career is in ruins, his marriage over, and his own family touched by the virus. Sinister forces are tracking his every move. That sounds really, really good, and I haven't had a bad Peter May one yet, so I am looking forward to that. I'm slowly collecting the Enzo MacLeod. I think I'm up to book 2 of that, so I keep looking out for those. And then the last couple, we have Surgeons Hall by E.S. Thomson, and this is the next in the series of Jem Flockhart. So I've spoken of this series before on here, and it is Jem Flockhart and Will Quatermain. Now Jem Flockhart is an apothecary. He was trained by his father. His father was a very renowned apothecary, and Jem took over his main practice, shall we say, when his father died. And I think this is about book 4, to be honest. I think, yeah, about book 4. I really enjoyed them. Great, quite thrilling. The murder, there's always a good murder in there. We get to know more about Jem and his friend Will Quatermain. But in actual fact, and this is no spoiler because it tells you straight, you know, in book 1, that Jem Flockhart is actually a woman, but a woman couldn't become an apothecary. and her father knew that, so she was actually brought up as a boy in her childhood years and works as this male apothecary. We don't know for definite whether Will knows if she is, you know, that Jem is really female. He's keeping his light under a bushel with that one. Whether we will eventually get to know if he knows, I don't know. But looking forward to this latest one. The Dead Will Give Up Their Secrets. Nice cover as well. Nice cover. And this is about the time of the Great Exhibition. Now, I love books that have something to do with the Great Exhibition that took place in London, and looking forward to that one. So I'm looking forward to all these. I think sometimes this is why you have to treat yourself and get a few new books, don't you? I was feeling like I was getting very slumpish and I didn't fancy reading, and it sort of, you know, excites the not taste buds, but the book reading buds. This is the Asylum, Karen Coles, sorry. This has got a brain on the front on one half and flowers on the other. And I've heard a lot about this, and this is spoken quite highly about by the lovely Nicola on Girly Girl Bookworm, and it was going cheap. It was in with 3 for a fiver, I think, from the works. So I thought I'd give it a go. Late to the party as always, but some books I don't like to pay full price till you know what they're going to be like. So this is set in 1906. It says, being a woman is dangerous, but being different is deadly. Maud Lovell has been at Angleton Lunatic Asylum for 5 years. She is not sure how she came to be there and knows nothing beyond its 4 walls. Hysterical, distressed and untrustworthy, she is badly unstable and prone to violence, or so she has been told. And I love books like this where people, you know, and I did, it's a few years ago, one of my favourite books of all time is The Key, and trying to think of her name, Kathryn, can't think of a surname, I'll put it down. And that, I did a whole chat about that book because it so reminded me of when I first started nursing, pre-nursing, and my very first place was one of the old, what was the old lunatic asylums in Sheffield, and was a mental health facility still. I mean, we're talking 1976, so, you know, thank goodness we've come on a long way since then. It was awful times. And a lot of people had lived there all their lives because they couldn't read and write, or the husband put them in because he was fed up with them, or whatever nonsensical reason. So I love these sorts of books. So when a new doctor arrives, keen to experiment with the revolutionary practice of medical hypnosis, Maud's unknown history makes her the perfect case study. But as Dr. Dimon delves deeper into the past, it becomes clear that confinement and high doses are there to keep her silent. When Maud finally remembers what has been done to her and by whom, her mind turns to her past and to revenge. Oh, I'm so excited for all these. I don't know what order to read them in because they all are really books I want to get to pretty quickly. And I think this is why I went and got a book haul, went and bought some new books, because it's it has made me really excited to dip in again. So let me know if you've read any of these. Let me know which you think I ought to read next. As I say, I'm already about 80 odd pages through One Silver Summer, and I'm enjoying that. And yeah, let me know what I should read next. So thank you so much for joining me. It is a bit erratic at the minute. We are having a few technical problems with the camera. It's holding on with a wing and a prayer, bless it. So thank you so much for joining me. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I'm again only 10 off that 1,000. I've been here so many times where I've, you know, been 990 and then I keep losing some, and I've never quite hit that 1,000. So please, if you want to find out some more bookish news with a bit of a laugh and a story thrown in, then please like and subscribe, and I'll see you next video. Bye for now.